Good afternoon, students of Form 6. We will be starting our career fair with University of Southern Caribbean in approximately 5 minutes. So just bear with us. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat below. Thank you. Mr. Simmons, you are live on YouTube, so we are seeing everything that your technician is doing. So just letting you know. Ms. Gopal, would you like to begin?
Yes. Morning, everyone. I'm your friendly guidance officer, Ms. Gopal. Welcoming each and every one of you to the last day of our virtual career fair. So happy that you can join us this morning. This link that you are using is specific to the Form 6 group. So if you are not from Form 6, you may want to join with another link that is pertinent to your Form Year group. So this morning, we have our first guest would be from USC, the University of the Southern Caribbean. And so we would like to welcome him, Mr. Lyndon Simmons. Mr. Simmons, welcome. We're very happy to have you. And this session is supposed to end at 1:40 p.m. So the rest of time until then will be yours. You can feel free to share your screen and unmute your mic and use your video whenever you'd like to. So take it away.
Okay, so thank you so very kindly, Miss. Welcome to each and everyone. As was said, my name is Lyndon Simmons, and I am a representative of the University of the Southern Caribbean. And I'm delighted this afternoon, to share with you for the next few minutes information as it relates to post-secondary school, as well as careers and your future. All right, so at this point in time, I would like you to turn your attention to the screen.
Rising up like the phoenixes, been tired of pushed down the grounds. Speaking my heart like it really is, 'cause I can't take another no. I see, I like, I go, I get, no one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get, who I get, who I get, who I get now.
All right, so that was a very short clip of some of the activities that usually happens on the campus of the University of the Southern Caribbean. So We are one of the 3 universities in Trinidad and Tobago, the University of the Southern Caribbean. We are founded in 1927, and so we are the oldest tertiary institution in the southern region. All right. Of course, you would want to know that we are duly accredited. We are accredited by the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as AAA in the US. All right. Most of our programs are GATE approved, which simply means that if you are desirous for doing a particular degree at the University of the Southern Caribbean, the government of Trinidad and Tobago will provide funding for you, depending on which one of the degrees you select. All right, so basically, we have 3 campuses that span across Trinidad and Tobago. And so we have one in the south of Trinidad in San Fernando on Leotard Street. All right, that's our south campus. And then, of course, we have the main campus, which is located in Maraca, St. Joseph. All right, here is where a number of our students who come from across the region will come onto the main campus. And of course, we have housing here where they would reside on what we call the dorms, and they go through their educational pursuits while at USC. And of course, finally, for Trinidad and Tobago, there's a campus in Tobago, in Rockville, Tobago. All right, so we cater also for the Tobago campus. All right. In addition to that, we also have 4 other regional campuses. We have one in Guyana, one in Barbados, one in St. Lucia, and one in Antigua for those persons who may not find it feasible to come to Trinidad or Tobago to study. We offer our programs at USC there. Now, we have over 30-degree programs, undergrad programs, as well as graduate programs, and professional short courses and seminars. And these programs, these degree programs, they fall within 5 academic schools, and of course, we are going to start with the School of Business and Entrepreneurship. That's for persons who want to get into things like accounting, economics, finance. We have a Bachelor of Business Administration in Human Resource Management. We have Hospitality and Tourism Management. We have BBA in Management and one in Marketing. So persons who want to get into any of these fields, you will fall in the School of Business and Entrepreneurship. Then, of course, we have the School of Education and Humanities. We have the Associate of Science in Music. That program, unfortunately, is not yet GATE approved. We also have the Bachelor of Science in Early Childhood Education, which is also not GATE approved. We have the Bachelor of Arts in English, the Bachelor of Arts in Music, and the Bachelor of Education in Primary Education. All right. Then, of course, we have the School of Science, Technology, and Allied Health. This is where all our doctors, our computer technicians, our chefs, our nutritionists, our nurses, they come from this area. All right. Even some of our the persons who want to get into things like vet, you want to become a vet, or you want to become a zoologist, this is the area for you. We have the Associate of Science in Computer Information Systems. We have the Associate of Science in Pre-Medical Studies, the Bachelor of Science in Biology, the Bachelor of Science in Computing, the Bachelor of Science in Family and Consumer Sciences, and that degree is a degree that for persons who are desirous of becoming a chef. All right. We have the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, one of our highly subscribed programs on the campus. And then, of course, we have the Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics. I should let you know that the AS in Pre-Medical Studies and the BS in Nutrition and Dietetics, those are not yet GATE approved. All right. Then, of course, we have the School of Social Sciences. This area is where our psychologists, our social workers, our guidance counselors, our criminology persons come from. All right. Also, as well, for persons who want to get into any of the protective services, this area is the area that we get into. So we have the Certificate in Paralegal Studies. We have the Bachelor of Science in Behavioral Sciences. Behavioral Sciences is basically a combination of psychology and sociology. All right. Then we have the Bachelor of Science in Criminology and Criminal Justice, the Bachelor of Science in Psychology, the Bachelor of Science in Social Work. All right. And then, of course, we have the School of Theology and Religion. And you probably perhaps may be saying to yourself, what? The School of Theology and Religion? Yeah, if you want to become a pastor, then yes, you have to study. You have to do the degree to become a pastor, right? And so if you want to become a pastor, a chaplain, as the case may be, you can do any one of these courses, the Bachelor of Arts in Theology or the Bachelor of Arts in Religion. Please note that the Bachelor of Arts in Religion is not yet gate approved, all right? In terms of the entry requirements, basically, we require you to have 5 CSEC passes, CSEC subjects, including English A and mathematics. All right. So majority of our degree programs would require you to have those basic two prerequisites, as well as any other 3 CXC passes. Now, if you're looking to get into the biology field, you're required to have math, English, biology, chemistry, and physics. And you must possess those grades, those 3 sciences. You must have them in grades 1 or 2. Now, if you have a grade 3, we can accept you, and this is at the CSEC level. However, you will be put on a prelim program of which GATE does not cover. So you will have to cover that prelim program if you have a grade 3 in any of those sciences in order to do the Bachelor of Science in Biology. All right. Additionally, if you want to become a nurse, you must have math, English. If you have a science, any one of science will be a plus. You need to have those. And all the other degree programs within the School of Science, Technology, and Allied Health, you're just required to have math, English, and any other 3 CXC passes. As it relates to the School of Education and Humanities, if you're looking to become a teacher, you want to teach in a primary school, you want to teach in a secondary school, you must possess 5 CSEC passes, math, English, and a science as well. All right. The government of Trinidad and Tobago requires you to have a science, including math and English, and any other 2 CXC passes in order for you to get your teacher's registration number. Now, I would advise you, well, I know if you, well, because you're Form 6, you would have already crossed this part. So, seeing that you would have already had your 5 CSEC passes, if you're looking to become a teacher, I would recommend to you that you go immediately and you sign up for your teacher's registration number. It does not expire. You will have that for your life. All right. So, you know, you can begin doing that at this point in time. As it relates to all the other programs in the social sciences area, all you're required to have in terms of entry requirements are English and any other 4 CXC passes. Right now, I know that I did not mention mathematics there, but if you do not have a pass in math, it's okay for that program. Psychology, social work, behavioral sciences, criminology, criminal justice, that's okay. You are required to just have English and any other 4, and you will be able to get entry into the programs. All right, moving along. Basically, we have 2 intakes. We have 2 major intakes. We have one in January, which is the 2nd semester, and one in September. So our academic semester runs from September of one year to January of the following year. All right. So our 2021-2022 semester, am I saying that correct? No. Our 2020-2021 semester started in September in 2020. We are now currently in our 2nd semester, which is January here. And then coming, well, I know you guys will be writing exams very soon. And once you would have finished Form 6, you can then begin to gain entry into our September 2021 semester. All right. Please note also that the nursing program, if you're interested in the nursing program is only offered in the September intake. It's not offered in the January intake. So you would want to bear that in mind. So if you miss this opportunity coming for September, if you want to become a nurse, then you will have to wait the following year, which will be 2022 September. All right. Moving along. All right. So basically, our applications are open for September. All right. So yes, we know that you're writing exams at this point in time. So what you can do is that you can begin to apply. All right. So, and pending, well, of course, for you guys, it will be a slightly bit different because we do not require you to have A-levels in order for you to gain entry into the program, so that you can apply immediately and you can get accepted for September. Now, what I can tell you is that the advantage of you doing A-levels is that once the subjects that you're doing currently are in line with the program of study that you want to do at the University of the Southern Caribbean, and you have a passing grade in those areas, what you will get is exemptions from courses within the degree. So it simply means that if our degree, it runs for 4 years. So seeing that you would have done A-levels, once you send in your passes to us, we will be able to assess or evaluate your passes, and then you will be able to get some credits off. So that means you can spend 2.5, 3 years doing a degree at the University of the Southern Caribbean. All right. So you can begin applying now. Our applications are online, and our website to get that information is usc.edu.tt. Of course, later on the slides, you will be able to see that. All right. Now, why choose USC? USC is an institution that is culturally diverse, right? We have people from all over the world studying at USC. We believe in intellectual curiosity. So we are there basically to pique your curiosity in terms of the degrees or the careers that you're looking to get into. All right. We believe, our institution believe in a holistic education. So that you find if you're doing a degree at USC, you're not only going to do it, let's say, for example, you're doing a degree in biology. You're not only going to do a degree in biology, you're also going to do, you're also going to be doing courses in psychology, because you have to understand, you have to have that emotional intelligence. So you have to understand that you will have to work with people, so that understanding persons of a different background from you, socioeconomic, whatever it is, you need to understand them in totality in order for you to work effectively with individuals. All right. So that's why we push and we believe in a holistic education. We also believe in moral integrity and the spiritual nature, because we cater for the entire student. Yes, moving along.
You will here studying biology. Start over, please. Honestly, I didn't even know about USC before coming to USC. When I came here, I entered Cedar Hall, right? The guys in Cedar Hall, they were very welcoming. As my years prolong at the University of Southern Caribbean, I tend to see a certain pattern in everybody that works here. Lecturers, persons that work on the campus, cleaners. I managed to build a relationship across the board. You can see the Christian morality in a number of persons around campus that work on campus. So that's a plus. They call me the barber boy on campus. Started off in Cedar Hall. My first haircut I remember was Von Sam's. It was messed up though. Had to get it redone by somebody else. But after that, Massacres was born. Massacres Barbershop is located at the heart of the campus. That's where the action happens. It's a place where people come and they chill, they lime. Sometime after class, somebody stressed out, they come in the barbershop, they just sit down, they talk, might have things to eat, they might have a couple of things to drink. I like helping. Honestly, I didn't even know about USC before coming to USC. When I came here, I entered Cedar Hall, right? The guys in Cedar Hall, they were very welcoming. As my years prolong at the University of Southern Caribbean, I tend to see a certain pattern in everybody that works here. Lecturers, persons that work on the campus, cleaners. I managed to build a relationship across the board. You can see the Christian morality in a number of persons around campus that work on campus. So that's a plus. They call me the barber boy on campus. Started off in Cedar Hall. My first haircut I remember was Von Sam's. It was messed up though. Had to get it redone by somebody else. But after that, Massacres was born. Massacres Barbershop is located at the heart of the campus. That's where the action happens. It's a place where people come and they chill, they lime. Sometime after class, somebody stressed out, they come in the barbershop, they just sit down, they talk, might have things to eat, they might have a couple of things to drink. I like helping people. I like seeing people smile. You know, here at USC, there are so many different programs and opportunities to get yourself into, just to get involved. So me being the main barber here at USC campus, that awarded me some opportunities to do some outreach programs. Went down there in Port of Spain and offer my service to cut people here for free. At first I was kind of skeptical about it, but when you go out there and you're on the streets and you meet different people with different needs as it relates to getting a haircut, it brought that sense of fulfillment, pride, joy, that ability to have consideration for the needy persons that need things done. That's what USC is about. Sometimes they go out there and they do these outreach programs, they bring a smile on different people's faces, and it feels good. It made me feel good to know that, USC offered me the opportunity to be part of this venture. Me being at USC and also being exposed to the different cultures at USC, the different persons that came from different islands and countries all over the world, the love of the people, the vibe, the friends, the advice that was given to me by different lecturers, laid the foundation for me for things to come in the near future. My name is Emmanuel Pierre, and I build my foundation at USC.
Okay, so that was a testimonial from one of our past students who happen to be working on campus even right now. All right, so those are some of the things that you'll be exposed to community service, because we believe, as I said before, in a holistic education. So it's not only about coming to USC to do a degree and getting out, but it's your responsibility. We want to ensure that once we have our students coming to USC, when you leave USC, you must be able to serve. All right, so you probably perhaps be asking yourself, okay, how do I get in contact with the University of the Southern Caribbean? All right, so if you want to contact us by phone, our phone number is 614-4872. You can visit our website at usc.edu.tt. Or if you would like to email us, perhaps you have a burning question that you may want answered, you can email us at info@usc.edu.tt. That's info@usc.edu.tt. Also, you can follow us on our social media on facebook.com/USCTT, and also on Instagram, instagram.com/USCTT. All right, so we will be happy to assist you in taking you from where you are to where you want to become in terms of your careers, in terms of pursuing a degree at the University of the Southern Caribbean. All right, so at this time, turn your attention also to the screen. We will just basically give you a campus tour. All right, so our campus is basically housed on hundreds of acres of land. Of course, we are in the green, luscious valley, Maracas Valley. And so, the people that we have on campus come from all over the Caribbean, all over the world, as a matter of fact. And at USC, it's here where a lot of students build a number of relationships. So much so that a lot of our students who come from all over the world, they study in Trinidad, and they even live here with a spouse. All right, so that's something that we look forward to. Cultural diversity. We have what is called International Students Week, where we come with the different cultures, we showcase. The students are able to prepare meals from their different countries, and we're able to participate from each other. All right, we also believe in intellectual curiosity, where, as I said before, the student is able to engage, their schoolwork in a meaningful way as well. So you can look forward to many things on the campus of USC. Of course, we also believe in the healthy lifestyle. So we have our gym. We even have classes where our students are required to do at least a gym course or do some type of physical activities, because you want to ensure that after the end of the day, when you do your degree, you're physically fit to go into the world of work. You don't want to study all those years and then after you're so sick that you can't enjoy the rewards of you studying and getting a job. Of course, we have a multiplicity of talents here. at the University of the Southern Caribbean, we have choirs, we have a number of performances that we do at the university. We have won several, what do you call those things at Queen Hall, music festivals. So those are things that you can look forward to. Of course, these are co-curricular activities which are important for your development. All right, so it's not about you only coming to USC, getting a degree and rushing off to get a job, but of course, we prepare you for the world of work so that when you get into the world of work, you are well prepared. All right, and finally, again, we have one slide.
Fact-based holistic education.
Caring lecturers.
Small, intimate classes. Luscious green valley.
Une riche expérience culturelle.
Spiritual awareness, a drug-free environment, intellectual curiosity, my future,
my education,
my USC.
Let the University of the Southern Caribbean take you beyond excellence.
All right, so the University of the Southern Caribbean, we are here. As I said before, we are one of the 3 universities in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are here to take you beyond excellence. Now, that is the end of our presentation. And so at this time, we have a few minutes left. We will entertain perhaps some questions that you may have, that you would like answered at this point in time. Are there any questions?
Yes, we do have some questions coming from some students. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Visampath, the guidance officer. So one of the first questions a student is asking is about the CSEC. I know this is for the Form 6s, but some of the students were asking, can I just go straight from CSEC to University of Southern Caribbean?
Most definitely, and thank you very much for your question. Yes, so basically our entry requirements, because we follow the American system, all right, our entry requirements, our basic entry requirements are 5 CSEC passes. Once you satisfy that criteria, you can come straight from CSEC into any one of our degree programs, because our programs are built in such a way that we take you from where you are at the point in time to where you would need to be in terms of acquiring your degree. So yes, definitely you can come straight from the CSEC level.
And one of the other questions was the age requirement. So some of those CSEC students are 16 years of age. Is there a minimum age requirement to enter into USC?
Right. Not really. Basically, well, once you are mature enough and you're able to handle university life, you can be accepted at USC. All right. The main thing will be once you have your 5 CSEC passes and you're able to show that you have a level of maturity that is conducive for university life, you can get access to the University of the Southern Caribbean to pursue a degree of your choice.
Okay, thank you very much. Miss Ali, did you have some questions?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I saw that your courses are, let me just pull this down. Your courses are AAA accredited. That's for Adventist school in the States. Mm-hmm. Just asking because I know COVID is a lot of online learning, right? Yes. What if a student starts a program at USC and then happens to want to go across? Can they transfer their credits across? And what are some of the universities that you're affiliated with in the States?
Okay, great. Thank you so very kindly. Excellent question again. So once you start a degree at USC, our degree programs, our credits are transferable. All right. There are a number of opportunities that you actually can have that students sometimes do not tap into. So we have what we call exchange programs, where you can, if you so desire, you can do a semester or an academic year in another university in one of the affiliated programs that we have in the US. All right. We are affiliated to Andrews University. We have Oakwood University. We have Loma Linda in the US. And so because we are accredited with AAA, any institution that is accredited with the AAA, we are networking with them. All right. So let's say, for example, you start your degree here and you decide something happens, your parents may probably perhaps have to migrate and you go to the US, yes, you can transfer your credits and you can continue as per usual. All right. In addition to that, I could also say to you, we have had a number of students. So like last year, was it last year? Year before, sorry, because last year was COVID. Year before, we had a student who started her degree here, and then she did one semester, and she was into athletics, and she got a scholarship to go abroad to study. And so all of her credits that she would have done here at the University of Southern Caribbean was transferable. So that was easy. She just got her documentation, and she was able to seamlessly transfer into that program.
That leads me to another question, because a lot of persons are under financial strain. Does your school offer financial assistance to some of the students who may need it at some point in time?
All right, good. So yes, I was hoping that somebody would have asked that question, because finance is always a big thing. And of course, with the changes that are happening with GATE, you know, a lot of students are struggling in terms of making ends meet because their parents would have lost their jobs, you know, and that kind of thing owing to COVID. Now, at this present time, we have very few things that we can assist students in terms of aid. One, our major thing would be our work study program. Our work study program. This program affords you the opportunity where you can work and study at the same time. All right. So once you can show that you are in need of financial aid, you can work on campus in one of our offices. Of course, there are perks, because for me, when I came to USC, I am an alumnus of USC, and I came from South Trinidad, Princeton to be exact, and I had the privilege of working on campus while I was studying. All right. Now I had GATE, but of course, you know, in terms of expenses, additional expenses, etc. And I can tell you that has had its benefit for me. You know, being able to work in the offices there, knowing the you know, the staff and the faculty, etc. You know, you can get certain leeway with certain things. You get time to study while earning an income to pay for your degree. So that's the main thing that we offer. In addition to that, we have some other small scholarship awards or funding or scholarship funding that you can tap into. But of course, you cannot, you are not allowed to enter into those programs until you have completed at least your first term, your first semester. All right, simply because those programs, in order to get into those things, your GPA must be above 3.0. All right, so persons who are getting into that scholarship fund, your GPA must be above 3.0. Right. Outside of that, of course, well, majority of our programs are GATE approved, and so if it's one of the programs that are GATE approved, but you need things like accommodation and books and stuff, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, in collaboration with the banks, have what we call the help loan. The help loan is very important. You know, students can tap into that. It's really, really, really good. You have, you know, it's a loan that they will lend you based on what you're applying for, and then once you graduate, once you have finished your program and you begin working, you have up until 10 years, and the government will, in terms of the interest, they will buffer, I think it's 100% of that, which is really excellent, right? Which is really, really excellent. What, Miss Ali, what did you say?
I hope so.
Yeah, they do. So it's really good, as opposed to your parents trying to get a loan, which, you know, they will, the interest will be really, really high. So the help loan is covering, and I know a number of students who are currently doing that and who would have done that. And, you know, the payment plan is really, really excellent. So those are some of the areas that they can look into.
Thank you. And then my final question, I know Miss might have another question afterwards. Your offerings for South, because of course Victoria Education District is in South.
Right.
I believe you all have an office, but I don't know where it is. And I think some of the students may not know as well.
All right. So the office in South is in San Fernando on Leotard Street. That's the same street with the birth paper, where you go and do your birth paper registration, birth registration, and your death registration, etc. Right. So you, at the bottom of that street, is Leotard Street. Right. Once you go at the bottom, it's on the right hand side. You can't miss it. You know, you can go, you can engage them, and they'll be happy to assist the students accordingly. All right. So you can check them out.
Oh, all your programs that are offered at the, well, they wouldn't be the same at the South branch, but it will be available online. We'll be able to see all the programs that are offered.
Yes. All right. So you can visit our website, usc.edu.tt. They will show you all the programs that we have there. In addition to that, I should let you know, well, we should all know that owing to COVID right now, everything is online until the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Prime Minister, gives the authorization to go back fully face-to-face. Only then we will then take the initiative to go back to face-to-face classes. But I know everything is online right now, so it probably is easier for some people because, you know, the hassle of not having to travel, the hustle and the bustle. But in a sense too, you know, everybody wants to meet their friends, they want to socialize, that kind of thing. But, you know, so it's a give and a take at this point in time, but you just have to know how to balance it, as the case may be at this point.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, Ms. Andy.
Yeah. Mr. Simmons, I have another question. A student was asking if it is that if they're in their KEEP program right now and they're in lower six and they don't want to continue, is it that they can apply to start school at the University of Southern Caribbean in January? Is that?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They can either choose September or January. Now that is left up to them if they so desire. If they realize, okay, I just don't want to do A levels anymore because, I did KEEP because, you know, I didn't have anything to do. I did not know that you can get into school without A levels or KEEP.
Right.
You can do that, but of course, I would encourage you to talk that over with your parents, right?
Right. Obviously, yes.
That, yes, but yes, you can do that.
Okay, and one last question. The courses or the bachelor's programs that are offered in the South Campus, would the students have to, after COVID, let's say, do they have to go to the campus in Maracas St. Joseph for any reason? Do they have to go up there?
Not necessarily, no. Well, I shouldn't say that. Yes and no. Now, not all of the programs you can begin and complete in the South, right? You can do up to 2 years of your program in the South area, depending on the program that you're doing. So you do the general eds, etc. So like a program like biology, you will then have to transfer to the main campus because there's where all the labs are, etc. All right. Some of the programs off the top of my head that you can begin and complete in San Fernando would be the nursing program, the social work, the behavioral sciences, psychology. Those off the top of my head, I know for sure you can begin and complete in San Fernando at the South Campus. The others you can begin and then you have to transfer to the main campus.
Okay, one last question. Transport. So if and when COVID completes and they're able to go again, and if they have to go up to Maracas and Joseph, is there any kind of transport system within the university to transport the students from South to Maracas and Joseph?
So we have shuttle services, but the shuttle services mainly cater for main campus between QF and Maracas and Joseph. Now there are times when students of the South Campus, when they have to come up, the director or the coordinator down there would organize with the main campus to get the students from the South to the main campus, but it's not a general thing that they usually do back and forth. But I think it's something that they're looking at. But of course, you know, the ASB is dissolved at this point in time because students are not physically on the campus, but it's something that they're looking at. Now, the ASB is the associated student body, that's a student government, basically, that lobbies on behalf of the student for issues that they may have, that they may need rectifying, or suggestions that they may have. All right?
Well, Mr. Simmons, thank you so very much. It was an excellent presentation, and I think one of the things that parents in particular would appreciate about your college is the fact of the all the different aspects that it takes into consideration. It sounds like a very balanced education, holistic in nature. So I think that sounds excellent. Thank you for coming today. And on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Student Support Services Division, we'd like to say thank you. And we will be inviting you, you know, when things open up and very happy.
Thank you so very kindly, and it's a pleasure to be here. And on behalf of the University of the Southern Caribbean, the President, Dr. Bowman, the administrators, and all faculty, staff, and students of the University of the Southern Caribbean, we are thankful for this opportunity.
Thank you.
So students, stay tuned. Very soon, in the next maybe 2 minutes, we will be having our next presentation, which would be from NEDCO.
Hi, good afternoon.
So, good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to the second segment for the afternoon at our virtual career fair. So this career fair is brought to you by the Victoria District of the Ministry of Education. So our second guest for this afternoon is from NEDCO. That's an abbreviation for the National Entrepreneurship Development Corporation Limited. And our guest in the studio with us this afternoon is Mr. Colin Providence. So, Mr. Providence, we welcome you. My name is Andrea Gopal, your friendly guidance officer, and I have a team with me, Ms. Sampath and Ms. Ali Edu. So we welcome you. Your presentation is expected to finish at 2:25. So the time is all yours. You please feel free to share any slides or videos that you may have. And
Sure.
we will field some questions to you at the end of the presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a couple of questions. I'm not sure if y'all are seeing me.
Yes, seeing you, it's kind of a darkened image though.
Yeah, I was trying to get the video up, so I think I just gotta look at it. I'm trying to clear up the picture a bit so that you may see me a bit better. So allow me a minute. Let me just change directions and see if it is any better, okay?
Students, if you have any questions in the meantime, you can write it on the YouTube chat and we will be able to help facilitate your questions there.
All right, I do apologize for the bad lighting, but we have quite a bit of sun here where I'm located. So I hope that you all are seeing me a little clearer.
Well, we're seeing a silhouette of you, but
oh gosh,
that's okay. If you're sharing slides and videos, we may hardly even be,
you don't want to look at my beautiful face. All right, I get you. I hear you. All right, no problem.
Very happy to.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Just to reiterate, my name is Colin Providence. I'm the Senior Business Incubation Officer at NEDCO. And don't get intimidated by the long title. It just means that I am one of those persons who helps people with business advisory services, and persons who are looking to start their own business, or persons who are already involved in business and trying to get information and advice. Okay, so I'm going to try to share my screen. I hope I can pull it up. Let me see. Please let me know if you are seeing my screen. Any luck?
No, we're not seeing anything yet.
Nothing is yet? Okay, let me try again.
Yes, sir, we're seeing your screen, but we're seeing your Zoom screen. So we're seeing everything you're doing. Just letting you know.
No problem. Don't worry. I have no top secrets to share.
Okay.
I'm just going to see if I can get the slideshow running from here. Hold one sec. Because I think I may have lost it, where it went to. Okay, you guys are still with me? Yes?
Yes, we're here.
Okay, good.
We are seeing your screen.
Nice. All right. So as I said before, what we're here to talk to you guys about is entrepreneurship. And that's a long word that really means doing it for yourself, right? It's about starting a business, operating a business on your own. Um, and that doesn't mean, even that doesn't mean it's on your own, right? Because as you would see, one of Netco's taglines is that we support and we help you sustain so that you can succeed. So no one is an island, and even entrepreneurship isn't meant to be a solo job, even though you may be ultimately responsible, right? So as part of your career fair, I think it's important to look at options for working for yourself, because most people who work for themselves will tell you that there's no greater reward than putting in the work for yourself and being able to reap all of the rewards for yourself. And not that you don't want to share it with others, but there's a different expectation or different sense of accomplishment being able to work for yourself compared to having to work maybe for someone else, where someone else is your boss. All right? All right, so let me tell you a bit about Netco. Netco, we have three main areas that we focus on. Most persons would know Netco for our lending services, but we also have business advisory and training. Under loans, persons can apply for a loan as a first-time borrower and access up to $250,000. Repeat borrowers can get up to $500,000. Now, again, this would mean you have to qualify, and the business has to be a type of business that warrants the type of input for the sums that you're asking for. So in other words, you're not coming to Netco and say, listen, I heard I can get 250,000 and I want $250,000 to open a parlor, right? You'd have to show your justification for trying to access that level of funding. So when we say up to, it means that is the maximum that we would be able to lend you, but you would have to show evidence that the funds that you requested are in fact required for the business. We also do business advisory, which I'll speak on a little further down, and additionally, we also do business training. So we have some basic reminders that a company would need in terms of setting up a business and what you would need to become profitable and sustainable. We start with effective leadership, right? Meaning, if you are going to start your business, then you have to be disciplined. There's no boss, you are the boss. You have to get up on time. You have to open your business. You have to be there. So you can't take, long lunches and, come back late and not be there to run your business, because you are the business. If you don't perform, then the business will not be able to succeed, right? Management know-how or the specific expertise. And I think that speaks for itself. If you are going into a particular business, then you must have some type of background or training in the particular area or field that you want to go into. A simple example, if you wanted to open a doctor's office, then you would need to be trained as a doctor or have some training in the medical field. Even if you aren't the doctor yourself and you're hiring a doctor, you would need to have some expertise or training in the medical field in order to operate such a business. So you can't just open any business that you feel without the relevant expertise in that area, right? And there must be a market for your product or service. So if nobody is buying igloos in Trinidad, because obviously it's going to melt in our sun, then you can't think that bringing igloos or importing igloos and selling igloos in Trinidad and Tobago would make much sense, because there's no market, there's no demand for igloos in Trinidad. Maybe in Alaska, you might find a willing audience, all right? You need to be efficient and effective in your business operations. And just like you would study for homework and assignments, you would have to have a plan. So you know you have a certain amount of work to do, and you would frame it and organize yourself so that you can get the work done in an efficient and effective time as possible. So too with running a business, you have to find systems and structures that would help you to achieve your ultimate goals. Right? And next we talk about trainable and reliable human resource. Now the human resource in most cases would be yourself. So again, this kind of feeds into the management know-how and skill to a certain degree, but it also means when you do hire staff, that you'd want to ensure that your staff can take the training, they are equipped, and that they're able to do the work. And so it means you also have to have an understanding so that you can train them as well. Right? And of course, the last two is the equipment and facilities, and of course, the money to access the actual facilities, or to buy the equipment, to buy the stock, and all of those things. So these are just some of the basic areas or some of the basic things that you would need to focus on if you're looking to start a business, and what you would need to have that business run effectively. Right, so let me just tell you a little bit about Netco's financing packages. Our loan rate right now is 8%, and that is a fixed rate. Loans can run up to 60 months, which is 5 years, and it would depend on the quantum you're asking for and the purpose. Right, our collateral, it's a minimum of 50% collateral coverage based on our lending criteria. Now, it can be less and it can be more, but what we do is we treat with each case as it comes. So we will look at your particular situation and make a determination what level of collateral you would need to have based on your risk profile, which I wouldn't go into here at this juncture. So let's talk about some of the basic loan requirements. So you're ready to start this business and you're approaching Netco for a loan. What documentation would you need to work with, right? So you need 2 forms of ID. We normally ask for 2 passport size photos, as well as proof of address. So this would be your utility bill, like your TNTech or your WASA bill. This would, of course, verify the address that you're giving us. Your business has to be registered, and there's an entire process for that. And again, Netco would be able to sit with you prior to you even coming in for the loan if you're not certain as to where you'd need to go to register your business and the different types of businesses that can be registered. Right, you would need your quotation for the items that you'd want to have funded. So you'll have quotation, invoices, estimates, as the case may be, depending on what you're asking for the funding for. Right, so you must have evidence to support your request. For persons who are already in business, we would want to see your bank statements if you have been operating before. If you're a brand new business, we wouldn't be asking you for bank statements at that point because you're now coming in. As well as historical financial statements would be for existing businesses. New businesses will not be required to provide historical financial documents. You need to have a Board of Inland Revenue certificate, or register for one if you're a brand new business. Lease agreements were applicable, and proof of contracts again were applicable. Now, this is just a short list, and it is not exhaustive of all of the different types of documents that you may be required to provide us with. These are your basic loan requirements. Some loans have very specific documentation that has to be attached with it, and so depending on the purpose for your loan, the lending officer will advise you additionally what documents you would need. One of the things that we've been able to do is package our services. So I was talking earlier about our business advisory and our training services. So what NETCO has done is that we've put together packages where persons who, like yourselves, maybe now looking to come out of school and are interested in starting a business, but you're not sure and certain as to how you would go about taking those first steps, or you feel that there are some skills that you need to develop additionally before you venture onto this business for yourself. NETCO has a series of workshops as well as business advisory services that will help you sort of harness all of those skills so that by the time you're ready to approach us for the loan, you would have gained some experience through our training and business advisory services. So what we've been able to do is to put together some packages that start from $300 and they go all the way through $1,200. I don't know if you all can see that on the screen. And it comprises entrepreneurial training workshops along with business advisory sessions. And depending on which package you take, it would include varying numbers of these services, right? And you get to choose which training packages or workshops that you would like to attend, right? So we would normally post on our social media pages, which is Instagram and Facebook, currently because we are still developing and reworking our website at this time. You can choose which training package, which training course that you would be interested in having registered for the entrepreneurial development package. So it's not like it's not like, in secondary school where you guys are at now and you must take maths and you have to take this, and it's not like that. You choose which area you want to have developed, which area you'd want to have training, and on the business advisory side, you can discuss pretty much anything with your business advisor in any area that you feel you need some additional advice or guidance on. I want to just touch base here now on our grant funding. So before we were talking about loans, and with a loan, you would know you'll have to pay that back. So NETCO would give you that money. We will tell you what the interest is, and we'll work out what we call a term, which is, as we said, can go up to 60 months. And each month you will be paying back a particular amount of money, which includes paying back some of the principal and some of the interest until the loan is exhausted. With a grant, the grant means you are gifted this money and you do not have to pay it back. However, this grant is very specific, and it's really coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic where some businesses were shuttered for quite some time. And this is relating to small businesses and entrepreneurs. So the government has, through NETCO, seek to assist businesses who are earning less than $1 million a year, who have been negatively impacted by the pandemic, to access a grant of up to $20,000 to help them recover some of those losses, right? So this may obviously not be applicable to you students, but you may have family or friends who are small business owners who may have been impacted and can probably access this funding, right? So they can register for the grant by going to www.netcottfunding.com. All right, and lastly, NETCO has 5 offices currently. The closest one to you would be our South office, which is located at 45 Independence Avenue in San Fernando. Now, I know you may have many, many questions, and I hope you have questions. I am going to try my best to play a video, if I can pull it up. Last time we tried and it did not work. So I want to see if I could stop sharing and then share again. Right? Let me see if I can do that or if I can just pull it up. All right, just give me a sec.
My name is Pinhan, and I am the chef and owner of Choose Big Bite. I opened on the 11th of August 2018.
Mr. Providence, I'm not hearing what I'm hearing.
Yeah, unfortunately, the sound is very poor,
Talk through the video.
sir.
Because we have burgers, hot dogs, fried chicken, we have chicken
Mr. Providence, you
sandwiches,
can talk through the
and we also
Mr.
make our own Hindi food
Providence,
as well. People love
the
to
video
actually
is
arrange our food.
sound is poor.
You're not getting any sound.
No, but you can go ahead and talk it through if you want to while it's showing.
All right, let me see if I can play another one. Now, that's the funny thing. The last time we were getting the sound and no video. Now we're getting the video and no sound. I'm not certain what's happening there. Any better now?
So, but if you like, you can talk through the video and not have the sound.
The video show, and you can go ahead and say what's going on.
Okay. Well, I'm getting the volume very loud on my end. So let me see if I can just turn it down a bit.
Our volume also is not, not too loud. We're hearing you very softly.
You're hearing me softly as well?
Yes.
Oh, I don't have an IT person with me, so I really do apologize for that. I'm not certain why you're not getting me. And you're not hearing the videos.
So tell us about this. Tell us about what's going on here on this video.
Okay, so what we have here is one of our clients who has a cake decorating business. And what she's really talking to us about here, she's just giving her experience with having approached Netco and how Netco would have assisted her with starting and setting up her business and the support that we have given her throughout her business period. Because we don't just give you the loan and say, okay, good luck. We actually work with you when we do follow-ups to see how the business is progressing. And again, through our business advisory services and training, we continue to reach out to our existing clients to determine and help them continue with their strategy. So, we don't just give you the load and say good luck, but we actually try to work with you throughout the process. I'm really sorry that you all could not hear for yourselves what our entrepreneurs were trying to say. We will try to work on that, and hopefully next time you all will be able to see and hear what these people are saying and give some context to Netco's operations. All right? So that's pretty much it in terms of the official part of the presentation. I am really excited to hear from the students. If they have any questions at all, I'll be more than happy to try to address them.
Okay. Miss Ali?
Yes, I do have a question because I do have students who are doing entrepreneurship at the A-level level. And when they leave, yes, they want to open a business, they're doing accounting or they're doing econ with it, and they have a lot of different ideas. And I like the packages that you all puts up, right? But they kind of get lost a little bit, because being an entrepreneur means you have to have that discipline and that fortitude to go forward and say, yes, whatever challenges come ahead, I will be able to overcome some of them, or at least adapt. And because the pandemic has hit, their motivation kind of dip. So I wanted to know if it is, you have any advice for them, and in terms of building businesses and having creative ideas during the pandemic, and then what kind of packages would you recommend first for them, knowing that they're coming out of A levels with entrepreneurship under their belt?
Right, so that's a lot of questions inside of there. It's a heavy question. All right, so let me see if I can address it in parts. All right, so first off, I'm going to share something with you guys. So I wear many hats. So I'm wearing my Nedco hat here in terms of what I do for Nedco, but I am also entrepreneur, and I also run and have my own business. So I have the unique perspective of not just giving people advice and talking all of the what the book says, but I have that experience from a practical and real life approach to running and operating my own business. So what I often tell people in terms of advice in getting involved in entrepreneurship is that it's hard. It is not the easiest of roads to go down, but I don't want anyone to be fearful, because it is as equally as difficult as it may be, it is just as much rewarding. So with everything in life that has a challenge, once you overcome it, the rewards are boundless, right? So in terms of a motivator, I'm going to say to all the would-be entrepreneurs out there, it's always tough at the beginning of the journey, but as you go along, you're going to learn. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fall. From your learnings and your teachings, I'm sure that you know that entrepreneurship is not easy, and that most of the people who get involved in entrepreneurship, their first, second, third, fourth, 100th idea is not the one that actually succeeds. So you have to have that wherewithal to fail, right? So my biggest advice to you is be prepared to fail, but don't look at the initial failure or the 10th or the umpteenth failure as a motivator to give up. It is all part of learning, and it's all part of you developing your skill set to eventually take off in an idea or ideas that will push you forward. All right, so that's just a little tidbit, right? So that you understand how entrepreneurship works. Now, in terms of persons leaving school and maybe looking to Nedco for assistance, what we would recommend is that you really try to focus on getting what we call real life practical experiences. So I know that at the academic level, you all are going to learn a lot of academia type of teachings, which is, of course, what you need to have. You must have your skill set, as we talked about earlier in my presentation. But what Nedco actually teaches is real life experiences. So having a chat with someone like myself who is in business and has real life experiences, so we can tell you about what really happens if you set up a parlor at the bottom of Charlotte Street. You know, we can give you those real life experiences. We can tell you about when the vagrant comes begging, and what to do and what not to do, and what's the best times to open and close, and that type of thing. So yeah, that is so important to get. And even if you're not getting that information through Nedco, take the time to speak to family and friends and other persons who are involved in the areas that you're looking to start in, so that you can get a understanding, a real understanding of what it is like to operate and function in that particular market space. So that is one of the key things that you would want to avail yourself of. Additionally, as I said, Nedco has specific training, and depending on the type of business that you want to go to or go through, what you could probably do is come through our business advisory, talk to us about what type of business you want to open. we can have a conversation with you in terms of what skill set you have and then make recommendations to you where there are gaps, and that will inform you in terms of additional training that you might need. So I don't know if that helps and if that answers some of the questions.
It does help a great deal. Thank you. I also wanted to ask, seeing that you do have testimonials from persons who have engaged with Netco, you have affiliations with a lot of different businesses. So in the training period that the students go through, they get to meet some of the business owners and persons in the different industries. Do they get the opportunity to step in and learn about different things from the different businesses?
Not directly through Netco. Now, we do have different programs that we run. So currently we run what we call a business accelerator program, which if persons do get enrolled in that, and you only get enrolled in that through our partner organizations. For example, right now we're working with tertiary institutions. So for example, if some of you all go on to university, let's say University of the West Indies, or I think we had University of Southern Caribbean on earlier, and they partner with Netco, they may recommend you to join our Business Accelerator program. And through that program, you would be exposed to that mentorship aspect where you would actually be able to work with practitioners in these specific areas that you're looking to venture into, who will really give you that hands-on experience and guidance as you go forward, in addition to the training and the business advisory and access to lending through that specific program. But that's a very, very specific program.
I want to ask one last question. Your international network, I mean, everybody's online now. Technology has made the community so much more complex and closer. Does NADCO offer some kind of outreach or opportunity for the students to market some of their things abroad, or to at least liaise with persons internationally?
Well, again, not directly, but again, through our partners. So we do work with Export TT, for example, and we can and have recommended our business owners, entrepreneurs, who have a desire to export their products or services to Export TT, who again will help them facilitate and set them in the right path towards becoming export ready, right? So again, through our affiliations, we would do the recommendations. So yeah, right now Export TT is our partner with regards to exporting abroad.
Thank you very, very much, sir.
No problem. No problem.
One of the things I'm very, very pleased about, Mr. Providence, is a statement you made that failure is a part of learning. Sometimes, even as adults, we don't tend to see that point of view, but history has taught us that failure is indeed a part of learning. So I just wanted to reiterate that, to encourage students, because even in school, there are students who have their little businesses running. And it's very good to learn from your organization that not only do you give financial aid, but also training and development type of support. So tell us a little bit about some of the courses, the names of the courses. I know sometimes I see advertised in the newspapers, little one-day seminars and stuff. Do you have anything upcoming that you'd like to share with us, or tell us the name of some of your popular courses?
Oh, sure. Thank you very much for that. So our courses will continue to change and will continue to evolve as we continually look at the marketplace and in the space that we're operating in, and we continue to develop. So for example, coming into 2021, what we have been paying a particular attention to is digital transformation and digitization, which of course the pandemic has really foisted us into that direction. So now that is the playing field that most businesses have to operate in. Businesses that before didn't have a digital presence are now and have been forced to transition and transform their operations into that particular type of platform. So Netco has actually developed courses in those two things, digital transformation and digitization. So those are two of our new courses that have recently been developed, and we ran the first modules. I think one was in December, and we just did one in January. In addition to that, we have really exciting ones like Know Your Taxes. You know, I know everybody's excited about paying taxes, but it's an important element in any business, and it's something that as an entrepreneur you need to understand. So it's one of those important courses that we recommend to everybody. Even if you're already in business and you think you know it all, it might be a good idea to still come and do the courses. And like I said, most of our courses are one-day sessions, usually about 4 to 5 hours long. However, we are all, as I said, continually looking and revising. And in conjunction with the International Labor Organization, we are actually going to be hosting new courses in Start Your Business and Improve Your Business, which are longer modules designed by the ILO to help persons who are now looking to start a business and persons who recently started and want to improve their business. And those courses run for about 5 days, right? So again, we are continuing to evolve, continuing to transform, and it's all market driven. So it's what you, the entrepreneur, would-be entrepreneur, is telling us you need, and we are trying to meet that need with our courses.
Hi, good day. We have one question from a student. They're asking about the course that you were just talking about with the business and the taxation. Is it that those are going to come out anytime soon? Can you say when those are coming out, or where can we get more information about it and how much it costs?
Right. So we don't have, we usually do our schedules like 3 to 6 months in advance. We don't have on the docket Know Your Taxes coming up in this quarter. And I don't think we have it scheduled for the next quarter as yet. We recently had one, I believe it was in early January, so I think it may have gone. But you can always follow us on Instagram and Facebook, because we would usually post our schedule. So you'd see the schedules way in advance, at least 3 months to 6 months in advance. You would see the schedule for the courses that are coming up. So you're able to make some, put some things in place in terms of timing and whatnot, so you can schedule. Our courses, the one-day courses, right now, because they're all online, are $300. And the longer courses that I spoke about, we're still in the process of finalizing the pricing on those. So those, I don't have a pricing on the 5-day courses as yet, but the one-day courses are currently priced at $300.
Thank you so much.
So, Mr. Providence, a question. I know that young people are going into more online type of business ventures, you know, things like influencing and businesses where they marketing different things online. Have you guys gotten to that point where you offer any kind of support for those type of businesses?
We offer support for all types of entrepreneurial businesses. So like I was saying,
in terms of particular, you know, okay, so when they are doing their online businesses, they will be transacting with credit cards, with other type of, you know, online payment sort of things in terms of their safety online and that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. So what we do is through our business advisory service, which anyone can access, you don't have to be over 18. And by the way, you have to be over 18 to apply for the loan. But our training and business advisory, there's no age limit on that. Of course, for those who are underage, you'll have to get your parents' permission to maybe use the credit card to swipe to make your payment. But yeah, we, through our advisory service, we would be able to give guidance. So anyone, any type of business model, person seeking clarification in terms of what platforms that they can use or services that they can access to assist them with setting up online payment platforms, etc., we would be able to give advice on that. Because like I said before, we recognize that there is a need for that digital transformation and digitization of businesses. And so many persons have been coming to us in the last couple of months requesting these types of services and asking these questions. And so that's one of the reasons we've developed the training course to help people with that information and so supplying them with info.
Well, thank you so much. I don't know if any of the other guidance officers have received any further questions from the students.
Hi, no, we're good on this side. Okay. Miss Ali? I guess not. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I'm good.
Sorry, we didn't get you, Miss Ali.
Oh no, I said I'm good. Thank you very much, Mr. Providence.
Okay.
And Michael.
Well, if you have any closing comments, Mr. Providence, now would be the time if you would like to say anything.
Yeah, I would like to say.
Best advice you could give someone, a young person who, you know, is desirous of starting a business.
All right, so I'd like to say, and let me just first of all say thank you so much for having me. I'm always happy to speak to young people. I wish I could have, you know, we could have been in a space where I could see and pick someone out and put them on the spot, but you know, the technology doesn't allow at this time. But my parting advice to entrepreneurs, and it's a reiteration of what I said before, don't be afraid to fail. Failure is just a bump in the road. It is not the end. If you give up, then you've done just that. You've just given up. You've given up on your dream. You've given up on your passion. One of the things I would want to leave you with is don't just follow what everyone else is doing. Dream big. Go with what inspires you. Do the work. Because it makes no sense that you have a dream and you want to be the next Bill Gates and you're not doing the work and you're not putting in the effort to ensure that you are equipping yourself with the skill set to pursue that business venture that you so desire. So you must pair your passion with competence. And with those two things, you'll be able to put yourself in a better position with NETCO's help to help you achieve your goals.
Thank you. We're very happy that you joined us today. And this segment has come to an end. All thank you comes from the Ministry of Education, Student Support Services Division, located in the Victoria Education District. On behalf of the team and myself, we want to thank your organization for being with us today. And I think your organization can help students to make their dreams a reality. Thank you very much, Mr. Providence.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
So students, stay tuned. Our next guest in today's segment will be from the COSTAT. So this is segment 4 of today's Form 6 Virtual Career Fair. And we have our guests already lined up and waiting to join us. We want to welcome you, Ms. Lewis.
Miss Well, I think it's actually TTHDI Tobago.
Yeah, no, it's actually the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. Yes, thank you.
Very sorry.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So I am looking forward to it because I did spend a little time living in Tobago, and I used to hear all about the Institute and see the students at functions and stuff. So looking forward to hear what you guys have to say, especially, you know, now that the Trinidad branch is no longer with us. So you guys have become even more valuable. So we welcome you, and your segment will run until 10 minutes past 3. So you have all that time. You can share your screen, share your videos, and I welcome you and your colleagues. Floor is open.
Thank you.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, hello and good afternoon from all of us at THI. My name is Shadi Lewis and I will be your host today. Firstly, I would like to share this video with you. This video will be featuring 2 lecturers. These lecturers will be talking about their journeys, some of the struggles and some of their most rewarding moments. So we will stream this video right now.
Hey guys, I'm Hans Defentala from Kessiban. I just want to welcome all you guys to the hospitality and tourism industry. This is an exciting industry that will require your brilliant young minds to take it to the next level. Remember, always put your all and practice excellence in everything that you do. Take the time to learn from each other, but also from the people who have come before you in this industry. Great success is always born of many failures. So take lessons from all that came before you, both their successes and their failures, and use it to transform Trinidad and Tobago's tourism and hospitality industry into the world-class product that it can be. Welcome to the industry.
You learn a lot about culture and places when it is you're interested in food. When I came out of school, I was involved in Rotaract. And through Rotaract, I interacted with a lot of islanders, and I was always just enamored with how patriotic they were. And I felt as a Tobagonian, we really didn't have people advocating and showing that love when it is we got. Yes, we love Tobago, but Tobago always kind of got overshadowed by Trinidad. Woo, that's a tough one, most memorable. I guess it's a reinforcement of my purpose. Yeah, all of my positive or memorable moments were moments that really helped to crystallize and I guess reinforce that it's worth the stress. So if I had to really drill down to one, when we won the Destination Award, and people trivialize it, but it took a lot of work for us to get there. And I felt so validated. It was very surreal going through the process. I won't lie, because, you know, we went up against destinations like Australia and New Zealand. I remember when I was in university, Australia had an amazing campaign. As I said, you're sitting with world leaders in tourism. I would say be a constant learner. We've enjoyed success by doing certain things, and sometimes we like to stay with that strategy all the time. You know, people talk about, oh, Tobago was doing so well in 2005. We're not in 2005, right? So the things we did back then, they may not work now. So you really have to be in a constant, I guess, state of learning and trying new things. And I guess taking risks. So in a nutshell, yeah, just have a thirst for knowledge. And not just knowledge like book, you know, knowledge in terms of connecting with people, because I learn a lot by going and talk to the villagers in Castara, you know, being with people on the ground. So there are different facets or different means of learning. So yes, there are industry practices and best practices, but you know, you need to learn from the people who are on the ground, on the front line, what is happening, because you can get disconnected from the reality of what the destination is facing. So you kind of need to keep yourself grounded.
When I was younger, I always used to make macaroni and cheese, and I used to experiment with that as well, you know, put different ingredients inside of it to see how the flavor changes. There was a day my mom went to the grocery and she saw a chef in the grocery and she walked up to him and she started a conversation with him. And she told him, you know, my son, he really loves food and he wants to be a chef. So he was like, okay, well, tell him to come down to the hotel tomorrow. This was Blue Haven Hotel. So, you know, she came home all excited and she was like, hey, you know, I met a chef. I told him that you want to be a chef. So instead of sitting down home doing nothing, he said to come to the hotel tomorrow for a job. So I was like, all right, cool. That sounds good, you know. I'll get to expand on my macaroni and cheese knowledge, you know. I will get an idea of new ingredients to put in my mac and cheese. So I was like, yeah, all right, let me go. There are so much memorable moments that I could mention. I was the captain of the culinary team and we won the collegiate decor competition. It's an international competition with different cooking schools all around the world, and we won 2 years in a row. To this day, we are the only team, right, coming out of Johnson and Wales in every Johnson and Wales campus that has ever done that 2 years in a row. So we still hold the record, we still hold the title for that. And our picture is actually in the school in a glass case in the campus. So it's so that aspect. Then this journey has afforded me the opportunity to cook for a lot of celebrities, you know. So I've cooked for, and this is from my personal chefing business, I've cooked for Ludacris, Fantasia, Neo, Anthony Hamilton, Taurus Riley, Congens, Marshall. I actually used to be the personal chef while I was living in Florida for a guy called Elvis Dumerville. He was actually, he used to play football, American football for the Baltimore Ravens. So you could go there. I've cooked for millionaires and billionaires. In terms of challenging moments, I had so many challenging moments on this journey that I am still on. Could go back once again to Johnson and Wales in terms of, you know, me going to school, the exchange rate coming from Trinidad and Tobago, you know, the exchange rate to the US dollar 6-1. And, you know, my mom was already paying my tuition, so I told her not to send any money for me. So besides with my school work and in all these clubs, I was the vice president of the Caribbean Students Association. I was in charge of the ACF in school as the American Chef Association. I was in another group called Men of Distinction. So besides juggling all these extracurricular activities, plus for school, I had to work under the table to have money to live. So, you know, that was really challenging. There were days that I was down to like dollars, like literally dollars, have $2-3 in my name, and, you know, I had to find a way to survive. But I used to, you know, say my prayers and whatever, and something always used to come along. Somebody always used to come with a job, and I don't know, like it just always worked out.
Okay, so now we will have all the members of the team formally introduce themselves. So we'll start with Miss McKean, then we'll do Miss Fortkey, then we'll do Chef Arthur Patrick, and then Safi, and then I will formally introduce myself.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. I am Ms. Billie Thomas McKean, and I'm the Dean of Student Services. We are here to take you from the beginning of your program to the end of the program. and we look forward to having you and to helping you any way we can in our department. So welcome, and I'll answer any questions at the end of the program.
Okay, I think next we'll have Arthur Patrick, because I don't think the other dean is on the call.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you all hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
So, hi, good afternoon. My name is Arthur Patrick, or Chef Arthur Patrick, whichever one you want to call me. I'm one of the culinary lecturers at the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, and I must say that it is my pleasure to be able to present to you today. So should I continue, or we just presenting ourselves?
Okay, I'll just do a quick introduction, and then we'll come back to you again in a few minutes. Okay. All right. My name is Sophia Bolhan, and I am the marketing manager at the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. So I am responsible for the various marketing channels, such as the website and the social media, as well as all our marketing materials for the institute. And I'm very, very happy to be here today to speak with the Form 6 students.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Shirley Lewis, and I am a marketing officer at THCI. I just recently completed my associate degree in tourism studies, and I started THCI in August 2017, so I am a former student. So now we will move on to another video. This video will just give you a brief overview of just the courses offered, overview of the campus. So now we will just stream that video.
Okay, just bear with me for 1 second here. I had this before. I have to get back out. Okay, I will now share the screen.
Welcome to the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. Greetings, it is our pleasure to welcome you to THTI. We feel privileged that you have chosen to entrust us to help you achieve your educational goal. Welcome from our deans, Mrs. Bernadine Thomas McCain and Mrs. Joanna Moses Vorke. At THTI, we incorporate the very essence of Tobago's physical and cultural heritage into your hospitality and tourism programs. From pristine marine and foreign environments to the traditional culture and food on the island, and education at THTI is truly experiential. Located on a 100-acre estate of pristine forest land overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, THTI's sprawling campus is nestled within farming and fishing communities of Mount St. George, Tobago. The story began in 1997 when THTI was established with a mandate to train professionals for the hospitality and tourism industries. THTI became the first indigenous Tobago institution to be registered with the ACTT in 2009, accredited in 2014, and re-accredited in 2020. We are now proud to be the only ACTT accredited hospitality and tourism institution in Trinidad and Tobago. Our dedicated faculty include individuals with distinguished local and international experience. THTI offers applied science associate degrees in hospitality, tourism, food and beverage, and culinary arts. At THTI, we believe that academic learning is greatly enhanced with experiential immersion. These experiences include local field trips and international competition, such as CTO Students Colloquium competition in New York, where in 2019, THTI was represented by 4 student finalists. Student chef dinners are an opportunity for students to use creativity, emerging local and regional products to create fine dining experiences. After completing the coursework, students will undertake an internship at a real-world workplace. We provide opportunities for academic pathways to bachelor's degree through local and international partners. All students are members of our Student Council, which facilitates communication with staff and faculty to promote unity, educational, and social interests of our students. THTI campus is equipped with a large commercial kitchen, training kitchen, and restaurant for hosting fine dining experiences and wine tasting. We host several events and activities throughout the year, including wine tasting and our signature event, the annual THTI Taste of Tobago Golf Classic. We partner with the local hotels and restaurants to showcase Tobago's best golfing, culinary, and hospitality experiences. In this single event, our students are exposed to elements of event management, sports tourism, and culinary tourism. Our students demonstrate career opportunities in the industry for other youths. Our students work on sustainable tourism initiatives as well as promoting Tobago's tourism. We welcome and host faculty and students from other local and international colleges and universities. Discover more about the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, where quality comes first, on our website, Facebook, and Instagram pages.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. Now we'll have a presentation by one of our lecturers, Chef Arthur Patrick. He is one of the main culinary arts lecturers. So, Chef Arthur.
Hi, good afternoon once again. I'll give you a brief background on myself before I tell you a little about the Institute. So, once again, my name is Chef Arthur Patrick. I developed the passion for food at the tender age of 12 years old. From the first video that you looked at, I mentioned that I always used to be in the kitchen, making macaroni and cheese. To this day, that's one of my favorite meals to make. That's my go-to meal. So I was looking at something on TV, and one of the chefs, he was making some kind of pasta dish, and he added oregano to it. So I decided to add some oregano to my mac and cheese, and that one spice just changed the flavor of the mac and cheese so much. And I was so amazed that, this food thing just piqued my interest. So when I was finished, fast forwarding, when I was finished CXE, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So my mom met a chef in the grocery a day, and she spoke to him, and he told her to let me come down to the hotel and start. So, you know, I was thinking that I was going to learn all these nice things. But when I went to the hotel, I ended up starting my career washing dishes. It wasn't fun at all, but it helped me develop a really good work ethic. Because besides washing the dishes, I also used to help the chefs prep and whatever in the kitchen. And because they saw how outgoing I was and how willing I was to learn, I got promoted pretty quickly to the breakfast chef, and then I started doing staff meals. While I was working at that hotel, I applied to do my associate degree at the same institute, the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, and I did an associate degree in culinary arts. On completing my associate degree, I worked in a number of places around Trinidad and Tobago, but I still wasn't satisfied because I realized that the majority of chefs, well, executive chefs inside in this industry normally come from outside of the Caribbean. They hire people from Europe and France and America and these places. So I wasn't satisfied because one of my goals at that point in time was to actually be an executive chef in a hotel. So I decided that I needed to leave the comforts of my home, Trinidad and Tobago, and venture out somewhere internationally to get some more experience and to also further my education. So I applied for Johnson & Wales University, which is, well, the campus I applied for was the Miami campus. They have 3 other campuses located in Denver, Colorado, Rhode Island, New York, and I think North Carolina. So I applied for the institute in Florida and I was accepted. So there I did a bachelor's degree in food service management. While I was there, because I know I knew that my time was limited in the States, I made it my duty to gain as much experience as possible. So one of my friends and I, he is from Antigua. We used to go to different restaurants around Miami and, you know, ask them for jobs and ask to work for free just to, you know, gain that experience and that knowledge. So on completing my bachelor's degree, I obtained a work permit from the US government and I stayed in the US for a little bit over a year, and I worked at Ocean Reef Club in Key Largo. My days were very long and hectic and very tedious. Most days I used to work for maybe 18 to 19 hours. And most times I worked 7 days a week. I might only get 1 day off, maybe once a month, but I didn't mind because I was so eager to learn and, you know, broaden my horizons on food that it really didn't matter. And I always had a goal. I wanted to be the best at what I do in Trinidad and Tobago, so I never stopped grinding. When I left the US, I came back to Tobago and I applied to work at the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, my alma mater, because with all the wealth of knowledge that I gained, I thought that, you know, it would be fitting to pass back on this knowledge to young chefs coming up. So that's where I am now. And I've been working at the Institute for the last, let's say, 4 years. 2 years into me working at the Institute, I also opened my own personal chefing restaurant consultancy business. The name of it is Chef Speak Catering and Restaurant Consultancy. So I normally do personal chefing events, catering events, and I also do consultancy for new or existing restaurants. I help them set up from start to finish and run efficiently. So the culinary program that we have at the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute provides students with the practical experience and hands-on approach to the daily operations of a professional kitchen. Most of our students who do culinary, their practical classes may run from 6 to 8 hours a day, and the theory classes may run to about 2 to 3 hours. If you apply to do your culinary degree as a full-time student, it will take just about 2 years. And if you're doing it part-time, it should take just about 3 years. So if you're interested in food, but you really don't like being in the kitchen, or you don't want to be a chef, that's okay, because there are other career paths that you can take in the culinary field besides being a chef. So you could become a food writer. You write about food. You could write cookbooks. You can become a food photographer. You can become a food and beverage manager. So there are other roads you can take besides becoming an actual chef in the kitchen. So our students, on completing their associate degree, they normally get the opportunity to go on an internship. So we have partnerships with hotels like Sandals, like Sandals, they have branches all over the Caribbean. And we also have partnerships with hotels and restaurants in Trinidad and Tobago, but we don't limit these students to only Trinidad and Tobago. If there is somewhere else in the world that the student might be interested in going on an internship, once they get permission from the restaurant or hotel, then we don't limit the student to just Trinidad and Tobago. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Chef Atta. So now we'll move on to the Q&A section. So anyone has any questions?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, we have some questions coming out for some students. The first question is, where is Mount St. George? That's the first question. And the second question is, for Johnson and Wales University, how does it work as far as you go to the school in Tobago for how long, and then you go across to Johnson and Wales, or is it all one program or two separate programs? If you could just explain a little bit more. Thank you.
Well, in terms of where is Mount St. George? Mount St. George is located in Blemming, Tobago. I know that you all would know where it is, but if you all know where the stadium is in Tobago, drive past the stadium, going towards Hope. I don't know, that's the... I don't really know how to describe where Mount St. George is.
On the map. They'll just have to look it up on the map.
You just have to look it up on the map.
It's a beautiful location anyway. A nice drive.
Yes, it is. In terms of, it is a nice drive. In terms of Johnson & Wales and THDI, well, we recently, I think over the last year, developed a partnership with Johnson & Wales University. The programs are two separate programs. So normally you would do an associate degree with us, and then on leaving our institute, you can apply to Johnson & Wales University to do your bachelor's. To be honest, you don't necessarily have to do an associate degree with us first. You can do your full 4 years at Johnson & Wales as the associate degree straight into the bachelor's, but to cut costs, because it'll be more economical, it will make more sense to do your associate degree with us first and then move on to Johnson & Wales, because one semester in Johnson & Wales, but at least when I was going there, I think the price actually raised since I left, but 1 year at Johnson & Wales was about 80,000 US. Now, don't let the number deter you. It is a big number, but Johnson & Wales offers a lot of scholarships to international students, and also the government of Trinidad and Tobago also provides scholarships for students wanting to study internationally.
Thank you very much. Ms. Ali, you have your questions.
I did have a question for Chef Patrick, but as I heard you speak, I know you kind of covered a lot of the things comprehensively. So my other question would go to accommodating students and the blended learning, or whether or not some of the learning is going to be, the students have to be on the campus for students being accommodated for the new semesters that are coming up. That's my question.
Okay, so basically our program is a face-to-face program, but since the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been offering some of our courses online, but those are the theory parts of the courses. But if you're doing practical courses, I mean, culinary arts is one of our most subscribed to programs. So for your practical courses, you will have to come to the campus. So classes like English and maths, culinary maths, those classes are fully online. But for food prep classes, baking, any other practical classes, they will have to be face-to-face on the campus. We don't currently, we do not have on-campus accommodation, but we work with persons with housing in the area to assist students to find suitable accommodation. And we also have a shuttle service from Scarborough to the campus, the campus is approximately 15 to 20 minutes outside of Scarborough, depending on how fast you drive. So we offer shuttle service to and from the campus to and from Scarborough, and it's based on class times. So far that is, that's what we have, but we will be willing to work with persons to help them to find accommodation. And we're also working with guest houses in the area because of the pandemic, there's a lot of vacant rooms, vacant apartments on the island. So those are initiatives that we are working on to try to accommodate students.
Specifically to become a student, is it necessary to do food and nutrition at CSUC and Cape? I'm just asking. I mean, you have to have the foundation, but can you enter just with your academic grades, your non-vocational grades? That's what I mean.
Okay, so is this in relation to our degree program, or it's or it's in relation to being a chef after you've completed your degree program?
Oh, I mean, for students who are not coming out of A's and they're interested in the culinary arts, or they're interested in the associated
Yeah.
with culinary arts, is it necessary to have, well, I know our students do food and nutrition, or they may do hospitality and tourism, those kinds of different things.
Oh, no. Our entry, the criteria for entry into the associate degree program is 5 CXC math and English, but we do not differentiate food and nutrition or any other classes. We just say 5 CXC math and English, that's the stipulation. But when you enter the program, then is when, we have food science and nutrition courses, we have sanitation and safety courses. So those courses, that coursework is built into your program. So you don't have to necessarily do food and nutrition in high school. We do not ask for that because we have the training built into our coursework.
Okay, thank you very much.
That answers?
It does very much, yes. Thank you.
Let us say that a student did do something at A levels. Will they be granted any credits for any related subject?
Exemptions.
Exemptions.
You're asking about exemptions. Oh, so, okay. It's difficult for me to answer. I guess I'll have to have a live example. I'm thinking if, in terms of like the math and English, I'm thinking that these students will be exempted because we have a placement test as part of the entry requirement. So these students will, if with A levels, based on their grades, they'll most likely be exempted from any placement test. But could you just tell me a subject that we can look at for exemption, like any subject that you have in mind that we can look at as an exemption?
Any for the A level, but it would have been for the O level. Yeah, but that's okay. So
O levels, I could say O levels, we will not consider O levels as exemption. No, we won't. No.
I was actually going to ask about, related to the exemption, because for A's, they would have done, if they're doing business management or they're doing hotel management or anything like that, they're doing MOB, accounts, econ, any of those things. Those will be integrated into your degree programs, or will they have exemptions? That is what I think she was asking.
Okay, so that I definitely will have to get back to you on that, on those answers, because that will need input from the academic dean. So I don't want to tell you yes or no, and I'm giving you incorrect information, but that's something that I can find out further, further from both the registrar and the academic dean, and get back to you with a more comprehensive and, most importantly, an accurate information.
Thank you. I have one more question because we all chatted. Are you all day funded? Are you all day funded for students?
I wanted to squeeze mine in. With regards to the accommodation, now that you are the only campus, how is this going to affect Trinidad students who are desirous of coming? I mean, I don't think parents would like, I think it would have been more preferable if their students could stay on campus. I think you did used to have some dorms some time ago.
Yeah, that was many, many years ago when the youth camp, when Blenheim, the youth camp was on Blenheim. But this was a campus that was, the youth camp is the area that was converted to the THTI.
So sharing the campus.
Yeah, so we were sharing it with CCC. So we had classrooms, and the areas that were the original dorm areas, those buildings were used, occupied by CCC. So as it is, there is no, what should I say? There are no immediate plans to convert, because we don't even have enough space for classrooms. So any additional space that we have, classrooms will be given, classrooms, kitchens, will be given the priority. So I think as of this minute, the answer is we do not have any on-campus accommodation. So
if I can
why-
just, go ahead. I was just going to say, if you can just add to that, for anybody who's visited Tobago, I think you'll find that it is a place that is great to live. That's the first thing. Secondly, we do have students from Trinidad who are studying or have been studying at THTI and have been living in Tobago in the various types of accommodation that the dean has indicated. So we really would like to reassure parents that there are options here, and there are students who do not have family who've come from Trinidad and have lived and thrived in Tobago.
That's very comforting to know. So we have 1 more minute.
Yeah, I have 2 questions, Andrea.
My goodness.
Andrea, I just have 2 questions. One, Miss Ali had asked if the school is GATE approved. So that's number 1. Yes?
Okay.
Yes. Sophia will answer.
Okay. Yes. All our programs are accredited. That's the first thing, which means that they meet the criteria for GATE. We have recently published new fees, which are being reviewed by GATE. So by the time the student is ready to enter their next academic year, which is in August, September, we will be able to inform you exactly what portion of those fees are covered by GATE, but we are an accredited GATE eligible institution.
Okay, great. And last question, one of the students was asking about tools. So they would need tools if they want to become a chef, so knives and outfit, like chef outfit and stuff. Is it that they are paying for that, or is there a scholarship to get funding for those things? How does it work? Thank you.
Okay, so it's a 2-part answer. So the students, the knives, whatever equipment they need, this is not included in the school. This is not included in the school fee. So the other part of your question, could you just repeat it?
It was about the items, so like the knives and the chef outfits. They are paying for that.
Yeah, it's not included in their school fees.
Okay, great. Thank you.
But you had another part of your question.
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
I think Miss Sampat would have to come and visit you guys.
I do. I really want to come and visit. I really do.
And visitor to Tobago, so I hope that I could come up there and visit you soon.
That would be nice.
Yes.
Yes, we would love to host you. Please get in touch with us. You can email us at info@thti.edu.tt, and we would very much love to hear from you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure it would be sooner rather than later you'll be seeing us. So on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Student Support Services, we want to say a very big thank you to you and your team for coming and joining us today at our virtual career fair. I'm sure the information would spark a lot of interest for students. And so on behalf of the Victoria District, a very big thank you. And we know that your training would indeed help our students to take their dream and turn it into reality. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. We hope to visit you soon.
Yes, come soon.
Anytime.
So, Students, stay tuned for our final segment, which will begin in about 2 minutes. Our next guest would be a guest from COSTAT. I know a lot of you would be interested in some of their programs. So see you back in 2 minutes while you take a quick bathroom break.
Mr. Ramcharan, the music slide, please.
Give me a second.
So we're back at it, students. I hope that you are ready to go once again. For our second session this evening, we have Mr. Sean Robinson, and he is representing the Tobago Dive Experience. So Mr. Robinson is going to share some really cool, interesting information with you. Remember, use the WhatsApp numbers and use YouTube to send in your questions. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And well, greetings from Tobago to all you buddy and youngsters.
Mr. Ramcharan, it stopped playing, just letting you know.
Give me a sec, I'll tell Mr. Raj.
Thanks.
Yeah, we sorted now.
Thank you.
Greetings from Tobago to all you buddy and youngsters out there. I like to challenge the younger people in my country that I actually believe that we live in a desert. Now, why I say that I think we live in a desert, because at last check, Trinidad and Tobago are two islands surrounded by water. And what is amazing is that we have a huge offshore industry where the majority of our oil and gas comes from, which is the offshore area, especially of the eastern north coast of Trinidad. And we have created thousands of jobs offshore, but the main beneficiaries of these jobs tend to be foreign expats. So it kind of amazes me that here we have our oil and gas industry, and our youngsters, our children, are not being driven towards participating in this industry. Now, what I mean by that, for example, I am a diving instructor, and I'm also a retired commercial diver. And I spent 20 plus years working in Trinidad and around the world, majority of it around the world, working on the offshore industry, on the platforms and ships and stuff. And it is very sad and disheartening for me that all these years later, when we put together a job for BP or Atlantic LNG over here, still the majority of the divers that we have to hire, we have to bring in from foreign. This is absolutely insane. So that is one area. So start to think, youngsters and young ladies, about a career in the diving industry. Another area that I look at very closely is the whole aspect of becoming captains in the marine industry again. We have many ships that work here that run the offshore supply vessels. Nearly every one of those vessels, without exception, all the senior crew on board these vessels are all foreigners. Sometimes I keep saying maybe we live in a desert where the skills of learning to swim, learning to handle boats and diving, it will not be necessary. So Tobago Dive Experience is the #1 dive institute in Trinidad. And a lot of what we do, we teach youngsters how to dive, opening up your eyes to the underwater world, and then opening up your eyes to the potential jobs that are out there in the marine industry. So these programs themselves, we actually run them in Trinidad. We actually run them at different schools in Trinidad on a demand basis. For example, we have been doing Naparima College for the last 12 years. We also do Naparima Girls, we do presentation down in the South, and many, many other schools scattered through Trinidad and Tobago. And over the last 10 years, I have seen where
Well, welcome back, students. Due to technical difficulties, I think that video just went down, but very lucky for us. We do have a guest from COSTAT who is here with us this afternoon. And so we would like to welcome them. It's just going to be a very brief time. Probably it's going to go until 4 p.m. So they'll probably just have about 18 minutes. So I hope that, I'm sure that they can do a little presentation in that time. So we want to welcome Mr. Jude Rogers on behalf of COSTAT to do their presentation.
Miss Gopal, he's from Fire Services. Sorry.
From Fire Services. Oh, well, better. Okay, well, welcome wherever you are from. We're very happy to have you. So you're going to have basically about 15 minutes. We will allow you to introduce yourself, to share your screen, any PowerPoints or videos that you may have. Our targeting time to end is 4 p.m. Welcome.
Hello. Hi, welcome. Thank you. We do have one video that we had sent to your administrator that we can play. So if they can play that video first, it would basically introduce the fire service and a little bit about what we do, and then we'll have a quick question and answer session at the end, right? So I'll leave it to your administrators to play the video from fire service.
Okay. Raj?
Yeah, hi, that video has to be queued because it wasn't queued for your presentation also. You need to go ahead, and when I get it, I'll just let you know.
Great, that's fine, Mr. Maraj. Okay, great. So I am a fire officer Rogers. I'm attached to Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service in our fire prevention department. And let me just introduce the fire service. First and foremost, the fire service is the organization that is mandated by law to protect members and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Anybody who is within our borders, Trinidad and Tobago, even within our waters. Public safety is our responsibility. When we hear fire service, the first thing we think about is fires, but that is not the only type of emergency that fire service responds to. And if you would think, well, if you're going down the highway and we get into an accident, if the agency that's going to come with the jaws of life to cut open that vehicle, to extricate the vehicle, or even with an ambulance to rescue you would be the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. So within the fire service, those roles and functions are designated to our organization. There are plenty things or plenty functions that we carry out that members of the public are not even aware of that we take on. So careers within the fire service would not only be for firefighting purposes, but we also have persons who work in IT, We have persons who work in engineering. That would be in our engineering section, where we have to manage the whole functionality of vehicles and so forth. We have persons who would do a little bit of building construction, because sometimes we have to go on site and we may have to set up camp in certain areas if we go in with prolonged activities. We have electricians. We have a range of services within those areas. We have some persons who would be manning our 990 call center, which is similar to the police service 999 call centers. That's called fire control. That is where all of the calls in Trinidad and Tobago that are emergencies come in, and then they are dispatched to the various stations for response. So you can imagine the role that I carry out in the fire service is one of a building inspector, as well as a forensic or a fire investigator. When there is a fire, someone has to determine the cause. And someone has, especially if life is lost or somebody dies in a fire, you don't want to know that your loved one died and you don't know what is the reason or the cause of that particular fire. Sometimes people use malicious intent to set fire, to burn a building, to receive the insurance money, or even to get all sorts of different things people may do. We have to uncover those sorts of crime and report that to the police in the form of a report. And I can tell you that persons have been brought before the court and convicted for murder by means of arson. And you can only do that if you have a very good evidence collection unit, which is able to carry that function out. So I see that Mr. Raj is ready. So we will go into the video, and then I'll be able to expound a little more on some of the ways that you can enter the fire service. So once you're ready, thank you.
Good day. Welcome to the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service was established on the 1st of January 1951. Prior to this, firefighting was undertaken by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. In the fire service, firefighting is done by both males and females, hence the term firefighter. On the 1st of December 1992, the fire service had its first intake of female firefighters, and to date, they play an integral part in the fire service. Did you know two of the biggest fires that Trinidad have ever faced was the Red House Fire in 1903 and the Treasury Fire in 1931? So, you want to begin a career in the fire service? Here's some hints and pointers to guide you in this important decision you are about to make. The work carried out by the fire service can be categorized in the following areas: to preserve life, to prevent the destruction of property by fire or other natural disasters, and to render humanitarian services. The entry requirement for the fire service is very simple. You must be between the ages of 18 and 35 years of age. Be of good character as evidenced by a police character of certificate. Passes include 3 CXC subjects. In general proficiency passes grade 1, 2, and 3, or the possession of a GCE ordinary level passes in English language and 2 other subjects, A, B, or C. You must be of good physique, that's a must, and at least 166.5 centimeters for males, and in the case of females, 160 centimeters. Selection for training carry out the following process. First, there's a preliminary screening, followed by an entrance examination, an aptitude test, an interview process, and last but not least, a medical examination. Recruitment and induction training is undertaken by the fire service and lasts for approximately 4 months. Recruits are trained in the following areas: fire science, foot drills, hydraulics and pump operation, ladder drills, first aid, electricity, just to name a few. hope to see you soon to provide an effective and efficient fire safety and emergency service for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raj, for that, for playing that video. So as I rejoin you now, you would have a number of questions. I know we are running out of time, so I want to get quickly into the question and answer session so that students can have an opportunity to ask some of the pertinent questions for those who would really want to know what do we do in the fire service and how they see themselves playing an important role where that is concerned.
Hi. So I want to ask you, Sue, about the specialized areas and fire services, and how do students train to get into these specialized services? Do they start off with the foundation training and then move into specialized areas, or is it that everybody is trained in those specific areas?
All right, great. So I'm glad that you asked that question, Miss. What happens is that persons come with certain specialized type entry points. So persons who have driver's permits, persons who may have studied, for instance, in drafting. There is a section for persons who are draftsmen or draftswomen who would have studied drawing, because in the fire service, we are responsible for all building plans, for all developments, from the Twin Towers to the residential developments that occur. They must submit their plans to Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. So if you are not trained in drafting, a person who is trained would easily assimilate into that department, or we would have to send you for specialist training when you come into the fire service. All right, so it is always well if somebody is already an electrician, somebody is already into engineering and mechanics, it works out pretty well. Any other questions?
Miss Ali, are you done with your questions?
Sorry. I didn't know if you said it before, but how long is the training, and if you're going to do specialized areas?
Right. So in that particular training, it's 4 months is your induction training, and that's just the induction. Your training is continuous in the fire service. We train and retrain, because a lot of the training that we do, it is upgraded. For instance, if you do first aid or you do medical training in the form of EMTB, which is an emergency medical technician, and that is the minimum requirement required for a person to work on an ambulance. So that person is going to have to do refresher courses throughout their life, because techniques and also advances in medicine change over time. Similarly, with fire service, we have a training school. And in our training school, we have our own in-house training department where you continuously train in different areas. All right, we have marine firefighting, we have aerodrome firefighting, as well as some of the other specialist areas such as fire prevention or fire investigations. So you don't come into the fire service as a fire investigator, you have to be trained. We may have to send you to England, or we may have to send you abroad to do forensic fire investigations and so forth. So there are quite a number of different fields. If somebody, however, comes in with an IT degree or an IT background, they may readily be able to assimilate into our IT department. Persons with public relations background can fit into our public relations and so forth. So there are quite a few areas that you can get into that are not apparent from the very onset.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask also affiliations with international fire officers. I know that there are some, stations that they'll have days with other officers, or they'll send officers to, like you said, the forensic fire officer, those kinds of things. How often does that happen, and is that ongoing? Well,
all right, so we are, each fire officer, as part of their promotion, have to do some studies through the Institute of Fire Engineers, which is an organization, a body that sets parameters and sets standards of excellence for fire officers across the world. And they are based in England, and our organization as well is affiliated with them. And they have a training school in England in a place called Morton Marsh. And that's where you go to learn advanced technology when it comes to fire forensics and fire training. But the basic training can be done. We actually teach here, and we do train the Caribbean-wide persons in advanced firefighting and basic firefighting. But if you were to go further than that, under what is called the Institute of Fire Engineers, which I'm a member of. You would have to train, do the exams locally, but you'll do your studies locally. And if you go advanced, you'd have to probably go abroad. But with technology now, much of these things you are able to do it remotely.
I also do want to ask, because I know, like, for an underwater welder, the retirement age for an underwater welder is less. It's before you reach 60, right? Is that something that happens with fire officers as well? Because it is a very high risk job, and there are certain things that could affect your health.
That is correct. There are a number of scenarios that can affect your health, but not only that, there are scenarios within the fire service where you need your physical strength and ability.
Raj, I think
he's frozen.
Oh,
yeah, connection on his side. Yeah, he lost his internet.
Oh no, we had some nice questions for him.
Okay, well, we can hang in there for a moment and see.
Yeah, let's hang in there and see if he comes back.
He's totally dropped now. He's no longer in the call, he's dropped.
Oh no. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get his contact information. So for students who have any questions for the fire services, we will be able to link you with his email address. So you could just let us know in the chat on the YouTube channel. Thank you. Ms. Gopal?
Yes. So it seems like we've come to the end of a lovely week of activities. Thank you, students, for those of us who joined us for more than one session. I'm sure you would have found that it was very beneficial. And we also want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our many presenters for all the different form levels, and especially those who were with us for the Form 6. I'm sorry that we lost our last presenter, and thank you guys. If you need any further information, please do not hesitate to contact the guidance officer at your school. Even if you don't have a resident guidance officer, I'm sure there will be a visiting one. So we are always excited to help you because it's a part of our job that we enjoy. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to the technical team, to the guidance officers and the planning team. And we hope to see you next year at our career fair. Thank you, everyone, and saying goodbye from the Ministry of Education. Ms. Sampat and Ms. Ali waving to you guys and saying goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. It was a pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Raj. Thank you, Mr. Ramcharan, for the technical support.
You should show yourselves now.
Yes, now is a great time.
Need to turn on lights and stuff, but you could just remind everyone also that the post survey is going to be emailed out now to everybody so they can fill out the post survey.
Yes, students, a post survey will be emailed, as we heard Mr. Raj say. So we kindly asking your indulgence to fill it out and send it back. We do need that information, you know, for our records. Mr. Raj and Damien, are you going to be visible to us?
I actually don't have a webcam on this machine.
Oh, but Mr. Raj is there.
Yay. I wanted to get a group picture.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We wouldn't have been able to do it without you.
Show yourself. Don't be a ghost.
How about camera? But thank you very much, Arian. And Mr. Raj. Thank you very, very much.
No problem.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for everything you did for us. Good teamwork. Yeah.
Most welcome anytime. Because students by emails are being sent out now, right?
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.